Hey, welcome back. Good evening, good afternoon. First of all, thank you very much, Danny, for the renewal of the subscription. 4 months, that's amazing. Thank you very much. That's very kind, very generous. So thank you, thank you. And yeah, welcome back. It's been just over a week since the last flight, so I hope everybody's doing well. You had a good week, and everything's okay so far. The big guy with the red suit is coming tomorrow evening or whatever, so almost there. The wait is almost over. That's the end of the calendar with all the chocolates coming to. So, anyway, cool. So yeah, here we are today for week 16 of the NFL tour, taking us today from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But it's a little bit chilly on the Willy. It's -2. Going to Kansas City in Missouri, actually. It's called Kansas City, but it's mostly located in Missouri, from what I understand. So there you go, learning a little bit of geography. I couldn't find a real flight, actually, on this particular route. A lot of the flights, mostly Southwest, were connecting in different places. So yeah, we just do a fantasy American Airlines 1234 1234 to Kansas City. So there you go. Cool. Excellent. So yeah, I said -2. Picked up the weather there. It's looking good in Pittsburgh and also in Kansas City. Here the scenery is a little bit looking white. I think most of North America in the scenery in the winter turns white. I think that's the way WarBX depicts it. So that's no big deal. And yeah, so I hope once again you had a good week and ready for some more action this evening. The flight is looking good. On the flight plan today, where is it? Yeah, it shows now we're on 50 minutes roughly, cruising at 36,000 feet. Good weather in Pittsburgh. At least it's dry, a little bit cold as I said, but dry. No really any issues there. And Kansas City as well. It's good, just southerly breeze. Nice temperatures around 10 or 12 degrees. So it's all good. And yeah, really nothing to be concerned about. The weather with Meteonautics as well was not showing much en route. Yeah, here we are. Just a bit of cloud to the north of Pittsburgh, but otherwise it's pretty much all clear. So no big deal today, which is nice. We don't want to get too excited. Cool. Right. So with that out of the way, let's jump in and get the flight going. So change the view. Here we are, like always. We'll launch FS to crew and do the PF events.
Hi, Captain. How are you today?
I'm great. Cool. I will send her for the walk around.
I'm out for the walk around.
Have a good time. It's gonna be a little bit colder there. -2. Cool. So, like always, we'll start with the Adiru, arm the emergency lights, and then come down here, check the status page, and it's just the TCAS like always. It's the only system that shows, so there you go. I don't know why specifically, but that's why it is. So we've got 23.5 tons of fuel, which is good. This is the required amount of fuel. Okay. And since it's -2, we'll start the APU and warm up the cabin a little bit because it's probably a little bit cold. Not sure how the simulator does it. If we look at the air synoptic there, it's gonna give us the temperature in the cabin. Yeah, 4 degrees. So it's -2 outside and it's 4 degrees in the cabin. So we need to warm up the cabin definitely. People will come on. No. Well, warm up the cabin. You're kind of burning a little bit of fuel for the APU, but hey, we'll need to be comfortable as well, huh? Alright. So, on the island page with the FMC, we've got the 777-300. Yeah, it's freezing, huh? 4 degrees. I'm sure if you were leaving like an aircraft empty like this overnight or whatever, it would get cold quite quickly indeed. So, but the interesting thing, however, is that if the aircraft is powered up, in particular with the you know, all the entertainment system on the seats and everything, if all the electrics are on in the cabin, it actually generates a lot of heat. Because I remember, like, well, on several occasions actually, the aircraft sitting on the ground for a few hours in cold weather, and the cabin actually doesn't get very cold. It's amazing, because they cut off the APU, of course, connect the ground power, so to save a little bit on the fuel, to be efficient, and just keeping, you know, the all the lights on, all the TVs on and stuff. That produces a lot of heat, so the cabin doesn't get that cold actually. So, but yeah, cool. So 777-300.2 ER, G90 engines. Iraq is the 2112 till the 30th of December, so coming to an end as well.
No, it's dropping. It's dropping fast.
For the follow.
Why is it doing that?
Welcome to American 1234,
The automatic pilot,
1234
it's deflating.
to Kansas City. Hope the autopilot is not gonna deflate today. Never know. Huh? Nah, there's no gimmicks today on the flight. It's gonna be a nice flight from A to B. We'll take the GPS position for the inertial position. There you go. Then do the flight plan request, simulate the data link. We are in KPIT. Cool. Excellent. And now it's actually simulating the data link system. Happy days. Right, so it's gonna come back with the data link message with all the information about the route, the performance, everything. So here is the route 1 uplink is ready, so we can clear the message and then load the uplink in the FMC, and then you get the uplink loading message, which in turn you can clear again. Now we've got the origin KPIT, the destination KMCI. It makes me think of YMCA for some reason. I don't know why. KMCI, YMCA is just the flight number is American 1234 heavy. Oh, and the route here is the route. Actually, I was not sure, because since there's no real flight, I couldn't get the route from FlightAware, so this is just what I found on VRoute. Yeah, VRoute. So it's maybe not that realistic, but yeah, it takes us from A to B, which is the main thing. So I like activate this and execute. Then on the perf init, I'll reject it like always. Damn. And see what we have on the actual flight plan. It's mostly the reserve, which never really ties up. So the reserve is 8.3, like this. Cruise altitude is gonna be 360. We are relatively light today, but I think it wants to stay below the wind, so 360 is a nice compromise. 120 is the cost index. That's what I like here. I think here in the simulator it works pretty well. It gives you a high speed in the descent as well, which is nice. But the cost index here in the simulation is a little bit funky, so it doesn't do the job the way it's supposed to. If you try to increase the cost index too much, then it doesn't really translate into at the correct and realistic speed. So I think 120 is when 150 is when the FMC predictions and don't really add up anymore. This is a good number to use. And here, make sure we've got 1,000 feet for the engine out. I'll make this one 3,000. Hey, TB, how you doing? 3,000 and 1,500. There you go for the usual acceleration, thrust reduction scheme, so to speak. Cool. Departure. Oh, it's a Pittsburgh 5, but there's not really any departures. Here it's just probably a runway heading and then radar vectors to the first en route waypoint. We'll check the Navigraph charts and see what it says. But for the moment, I'll select runway 28 right. It's a little bit closer, and select this one. See what gives us. Execute this. So yeah, it's gonna be vectors. That's pretty much what I thought it would be. Because when I did the flight plan, I couldn't find any departures as well. So I assumed there was a little bit like in Chicago a couple of weeks ago with PFPX. Since there's no departures, it doesn't recognize it in the database. So it just says no SIDs. But there is actually something which carries that Pittsburgh 5 departure. So let's have a look at the charts. Graph, Navigraph. Cool. And SID. Yeah, it's the Pittsburgh 5 departure. All of text here. Be reassured, I'm not gonna read all that stuff. And yeah, pretty much as expected. Runway heading 281. So 281 can make track 281. And here, since we have it in the FMC, we can engage LNAV and then we'll follow like 281 heading. So we'll see actually if there's a little bit of wind, what the LNAV does, if it keeps like the track or if it keeps the heading. Remember, like the track is basically a straight line over the ground. The heading kind of takes into account the wind. So if there's a bit of a crosswind, which I think is the case for the takeoff there, the aircraft will point a little bit into the wind. So we'll see how it works. And initially it's 5,000 feet. Here it is, 5,000 here. So there you go. Cool. The rest, as I said, I'm not gonna lose sleep. Otherwise, you're gonna be fuming and like ready to Arakiri. So yeah, I'm not gonna bore you with all the obstacle notes and stuff. Cool. So that's at 281 initially, 5,000 feet, and the FMC is just vectors. But good. Then on the route data, we'll load the winds. Here they are, like always. It gives us a sample of winds, but not always the correct levels, so we can then adjust that during the cruise. So execute this, and then on the VNAV, go to our forecast and load the descent. Okay. Here we are. Nav radio page. I need really to set anything here. Distance 671, so just as remind you, like a gross error check to make sure that there's no any major differences with the flight plan. So the flight plan was 693, so 671, close enough. On the route page here, we'll do the route copy onto route 2 and then back to route 1. FMC com page, make sure there's nothing outstanding, any uplinks we forgot to get in the FMC. This one is, yeah, it's gonna be 250 below 11,000 feet because the airport is a little bit elevated in Pittsburgh, so below 11. That's that. Happy days. Let me close the door that the catering goes away. Yeah, they're gonna close the I think it's the R1 and the
I'm
R5
back from the walk
door.
around. Everything
Hey,
looks
she's
good.
back. Beautiful. Excellent. And for some reason, the jetway docked on the second door, on the L2 door. I'm not sure how the boarding is gonna happen, but let's accelerate the timeline.
Hi guys, can we start boarding now?
Yes.
Thanks.
Let's get some noise in the background. Press boarding. 400 passengers. Maybe not. 40 will do. Boom. For the moment, no notifications about the doors. Boarding requested. Okay. Let's continue. But right, so now on the FS panel, we'll make the altimeter, of course, in the US inches of mercury. Use the B function. It should be 3017. That was the latest I had. However, Active Sky is giving 3014. It's not even probably not even 1 hectopascal of a difference, so I'm sure we can live with that. Flight director comes on, and then the MCP is set with the runway track and the initial altitude. Then we can come down here, check the oxygen for what it's worth. As I said, no gimmicks today. So one of the last flights, what did I do? Oh yeah, that kind of diversion due to air conditioning problem around the Himalaya. Yeah, that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, that was nice actually. It was nice to see the, you know, the diversion all the way around the mountains. Good. And yeah, that's pretty much set here. Parking brake is set, that's the main thing, although here in the simulation the aircraft doesn't move, but in real it would move, so if you don't have the chocks in place, then you definitely need the parking brake, otherwise the aircraft would. Oh, good plan. And yeah, that's it. Beautiful. So let's move on to the briefing. And well, FS to crew does the pre-flight flow. I'll bring in the departure brief tab. We're gonna go from the gate. We're gonna use the transponder on the ground. The takeoff is gonna be reduced, of course. The config, I think, was 5. Double check that. Yes. The packs will be on, like always. That's standard procedure. Anti-ice is not required, although as said at the beginning, it's cold, but it's dry, so there's no need for anti-ice. NADP is not required. The thrust reduction we set 1500, and the acceleration was 3000. We're gonna follow the SID, which is a bit of a non-event because it's like straight ahead, and then weather and terrains, that's just like the FS to crew thing. That's it. The LFC takeoff runway 28 right, straight ahead, and then at some point, once we are happy, we can take a direct to the first waypoint and climb all the way to 360. There's no ATC, so I thought maybe like a couple of days before Christmas, a lot of people might be on holiday or something, so it will be a little bit busier, but yeah, hey, just the way it goes. Huh? People are like busy shopping. Last minute rush. Hey, go, 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 go. Just before Christmas. Cool. Alright, so once we're done with the pre-flight flow, then we can do the pre-flight checklist.
TCAS test. Pass.
I think at some point it's going to say, I'm ready for the checklist.
I am ready for the checklist.
There you go. And I've not done this for a week, but still remember it. I'm like traumatized by this thing. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Flight instruments.
Heading 236, altimeter 3014. Heading 236, altimeter 3014.
Heading 236. Altimeter
Thank you.
3014. Pre-flight checklist complete.
Okay. So let's disconnect the ground power. Ground flight deck.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect the ground equipment.
Roger.
Thank you very much. Sure. Let's do the performance now. So we got zero fuel weight of 213.8. So 213.8. That in those zero fuel weight boxes here. Got 23.5 tons of fuel, which reflects as well on the fuel gauge here. So that gives us gross weight at the moment of 237.3, which is pretty much what I expected, so that's good. Then on the thrust limit page here, we'll set an assumed temperature, which I think was, is it 68? So set 68 up here. We'll leave it at this. Oh, it's warming up. -1 now. Engine out is 1000. That's good. Flaps we set 5. CG from PMDG is going to be 29%, which is the equivalent of 5 units. And the speeds should be 152. 155. And eventually 158. So PMDG is 3 off. Cool. Then we said 250 below 50. Oh, where's my altitude? Oh, it's actually 11.5. So 250 below 11,500. Like this. Yeah, 360 should be good. The max is 380. Here we are again with that flashing recommended altitude. I'm always puzzled by this. Anyway, that's not something like the aircraft does. So V2 is 158. Here we are. We'll engage LNAV and VNAV, see how it works. Or ARM, I should say. It's not engaged at the moment, it's armed.
I'm doing good.
The difference is that it's waiting to come on. It's in the background, ready to go. So it's armed, but it's not engaged. It's not the active mode. The active mode is in green here, and it's toga, both laterally and vertically. Tu travailles pour Air France? Peut-être. Eh oui, mais non. Difficile à dire, hein? I'll send the usual reply. Must have noticed that I'm not putting in the title, you know, about being a pilot, so I appreciate people actually go into the description and have a read through. Black Diamond, that's a good question. The only way I can work it out is because I have, you know, the performance software I use at work. So basically, it gives me, you know, the information for like a place like Pittsburgh, for example. But no, otherwise I wouldn't be able to work it out. There's no like specific rules to work it out. It's just if, for example, you have a longer runway and the aircraft is relatively light, then most of the time you can go with flaps 5. But then the shorter the runway becomes, then the greater the flap setting is, more power. So the software will work it out, but work it out yourself is impossible. So that's why I always use the software here. It's good. or the application. Right, so we are all set. And yeah, just finishing the boarding. I think the cargo is done. Yep. Just close the doors and get going. The boarding takes a while. It's only 40 passengers. If they get like, I don't know, one every 10 seconds or something, shouldn't take too long. But yeah. Fantastic. So today it's Pittsburgh to Kansas City. Kansas City actually doing very well. C'est version 4 encore. On verra avec la version 5.3. Yeah, still version 4. So we'll see with version 5 soon, maybe. I still need to work it out. But I think it's pretty much the same. I mean, it doesn't look that much different. It's just a few little differences. Cool, so it looks like we're done with the boarding. Let's accelerate the timeline. Here's gonna make a speech, I think, at -5.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. As you locate your assigned seats, please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more
All the
room
cargo
for
doors
larger
are
items
closing,
in our
so that's
overhead
good.
compartments. If you need
We are
assistance,
going for a
contact the
non-time
flight
departure.
attendant.
Very
If you
good.
are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also, review the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also
Fantastic.
review the exit seating
Cheers.
criteria.
Right, excellent.
All right, guys. Everyone's seated. We're all buttoned up and ready to go in the back.
Thanks.
If you need anything, just let me know.
No problem. We might order some food, some lunch later on, some dinner. Some dinner, please. Who's here? Right, so ground Frederick.
Go ahead.
Can we pressurize hydraulics?
Roger, you're clear to pressurize the hydraulics.
Before start procedure.
Are we clear to pressurize?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so that's when the before start flow comes up, you know. Pressurize the hydraulics, which is the kind of, it's a little bit vague, you know, the phrase pressurize hydraulics, but it's basically the clue to get things going, you know. And the one thing I've got to do is set the trim. The trim is 5 units.
I am ready for the checklist.
She's ready for the checklist. Let me arm the doors. Yeah, something the crew will do. Data link, no. This actions, doors, arm all the doors. Oh, Microflight, how are you doing? I'm a bit late. Oh, no worries, man. Are you gonna do the flight today? I mean, no pressure. I know last week you did the flight along with me, but no pressure. Don't feel like you have to rush along. And what is the sequence to pressurize the hydraulics? That's a good question. Let's have a look. They say that the first one to come on should be the this one pump here on the right electric, and from off it should come to auto. All the switches here at the bottom of the panel, of the hydraulic panel, should be on the auto position because they are demand pumps. They only come on when there's a demand, hence the name demand pump. When there's a demand on the system, so, and obviously to detect the demand for more like hydraulic pressure and fluid to go into the system. The system is automatic, so that's why it goes onto the auto position. The primary pumps are all either like the left and the right are like driven by the engines, and the center, the two pumps here in the center are electric. So the sequence, the way I'm always doing it is to get this one first here, the right electric, and then switch that one on, and then auto, auto, auto. That's the sequence. These two, the switch always remain on, so you don't have to touch them. So you do this one, then this, 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 if it makes sense. So that's the way to pressurize. Yeah, last minute rush, shopping and stuff. No worries. How long do you think you're gonna be? Because I'm almost ready to go. So I mean, if you're almost ready, if it takes like 10 minutes or something, I can wait. But if it's gonna take you like half an hour or something, then if you don't mind, I'll get cracking, because then time time becomes of the essence. So okay, just a few minutes. Yeah, I can wait. Like, you know, as I said, like 5-10 minutes is okay. It's just, if I know for me, I'm quite slow to get like all the stuff like going, you know, because there's so many add-ons and like, you know, so usually it takes me a good half an hour to get the show on the road. But yeah, if it's just a few minutes, then I'll wait. Let's do the checklist in the meantime. Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door. Closed and locked. MCP.
Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds.
Set and checked.
CDU preflight.
Completed.
Completed. Trim.
Set and checked.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Before start checklist complete.
Beautiful. Take the recall. Nothing there. Cool. Yeah, recently I was in the simulator, and once again, I mean, I'm amazed how good this looks, because the simulators we train on, the scenery is not that great. I mean, it's just like, you know, basic, you know, it's nothing really nothing fancy. So, you know, we might complain, you know, about the way this looks and stuff. At the end of the day, it's not too bad. We've got different scenery. Nice. Cool. You must be in the right, I must be in the wrong, to be fair. Excellent. Runway, I'm gonna go for 28 right, because it looks like we are a little bit closer to 28 right here. It's just to shorten the taxi. And the SID is just the Pittsburgh 5, so it's straight ahead. It's just like radar vectors, so straight ahead. So yeah, it's quite straightforward. I've got the flight plan in the Discord page if you want to have a look. That's it's there, available, with the fuel as well and everything. EFP, yeah. Yeah, I'm parked here. I think it will be a little bit quicker to get 28 right instead of going 28 center, or even go to 28 left. So 28 right, I think, is gonna do the trick. Oh yeah. Hey KFC, how you doing? Morning, morning. Oh, you're on the other side of the world. It's morning time already, so you're already on Christmas Eve. Ooh, fantastic. Yeah, we've got a slot now. We've got to wait another 5 minutes. Hey, Boone, how you doing? Acid Boone, how you doing? Welcome back. Microphone. Fantastic. I would assume microflight, you are on the KLM here side. Different scenery inside Joseph the building. Oops. Okay, I'll get going then. Excellent. Pittsburgh traffic. American 1234 heavy pushing back Bravo 35 Pittsburgh. Right, let's do it. I can recall. Yeah. GS6, prepare for the push. You request the icing? No!
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push.
Although this is winter, and I was very excited to do the flight to Green Bay a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it would be pandemonium up there. But no, it was dry, a little bit cold, of course, but dry. So I've not managed to de-ice yet. KFC, good, thank you very much. Good.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for push.
Getting ready for the arrival of the big man in the red suit in a couple of days, I guess. Well, not even a couple of days. Tomorrow night, I guess, he's coming. So forward to it.
Locking gear.
Oh. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere you go. Nose to the right. We're gonna do.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes.
Let's go.
Commencing push.
Let's go.
Due to
Let's
icing
go to
conditions, please stand by for
Glasgow.
engine start until push completed and brakes set.
Not quite Glasgow today. It's beginning to look. Oh, oh, that was beautiful. What is this? What are you doing, my friend? I think it's because I'm singing. It's doing a little bit of dancing there. That was quite funky. God. Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Start the right engine.
Starting right.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Everywhere
Oil
you
pressure.
go. Da 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 dun da da. Da dun da da dun da dun. Yeah, seems to be starting well. Ding, 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 dun, dun. Cool. Ah, donkey. I know. Oh, I thought I thought I'd forgotten, but no, I've not forgotten. It was quite slow to start. I don't know if it's. Oh, jeez. Good. We are in control. That's good. That's it. Start the left engine.
Set parking
Starting
brakes.
left.
And parking brake is
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
set. Stand by.
Oil
Once
pressure.
again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight today. This is
Look
the
at me
flight
spinning.
PMDG. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for port safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates
It's
the safety
beginning to
equipment
look
on this
like
aircraft.
Christmas.
Regulations require compliance with this information.
Oh, cool.
Follow
So
local
scenery for
instructions.
Pittsburgh and
Flight
Kansas City
information
areas.
signs
But
and
yeah, we'll see how it works. Either success, great success, otherwise kaboom. Yeah.
Tighten by pulling on the belt. To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle.
Yeah,
It is
to
our
put that on,
policy that you keep your
otherwise it's
seatbelt
never gonna
fastened at all
start.
times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit
Yeah.
signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is equipped with an escape slide. Locate the exit nearest you. The nearest exit may be
Oh, that
behind
was
you.
interesting the way the engine
An
started. Actually,
emergency lights will illuminate the aisle.
this is
The cabin
actually
is pressurized if there is a
not
loss of
badly
gas pressure,
done
a
because
panel will open and
when the
oxygen
engine
mask will
starts,
appear. Remain seated
there's a
with
little
seatbelt
bit, or
fastened
you can
and
imagine
full
a little
mask
bit,
towards
a
you
big
to
bit
start
of
the flow
air
oxygen.
that kind of,
Oxygen will be
is
flowing to the
sucked
mask
into
even
the
though
engine.
bag
So
may
if
not
the
inflate.
inside of the engine
Cover
is a
your
little
nose
bit
and mouth with
warm
the mask,
by
place
sucking
the
up the
elastic
air
mask
from the
around your
outside,
head
which
and tighten by pulling on the end.
99% of the
Secure your
time
own
will
mask
be
before assisting others.
cooler, actually cools down
Your
the
seat bottom cushion may
GT,
be
the
used in
gas
flotation
temperature,
device. pull up and remove the cushion. Upon exiting the aircraft,
from the
place your
aircraft,
arms around the
from
cushion
the
and
engine,
hold onto
and
the straps
yeah,
located
that's
on the back.
nicely done actually.
This is a non-smoking
That's
flight.
quite funny.
Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or lavatories. Cabin lights will now be turned off.
Right, so we
Reading light
confirm
buttons
good
are
engine
located
start.
above your seat. Thank you for your
And you can
attention.
disconnect all the equipment. See you on the left at the bin. Bye bye. Flaps 5. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Unlocking gear.
I will see the flaps, the trailing edge come down.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Not yet. First is the leading edge, and then once you go past the flap 1, then the trailing edge come down to again to the flap 5 position. Flap 1 is actually, if I'm correct, is only the leading edge that start dropping, but these don't like really move, and then with flaps 5 then this moves down. Just a little bit of
Left is clear.
information
Right is
on
clear.
the flap system. Check the flight controls. Down, left, right. Then once we get the all clear message from the guy down there. Where is he? Is he gone? Oh, he's walking away already. Okay, and the tug is already away. I like the little spin he did when started the push. That was funky. Right, so we can check the rudder pedals. Left, center, right, center. Before taxi checklist.
Before taxi checklist. Anti-ice. Auto. Recall. Checked. Flight controls.
Checked.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear left.
Clear right.
Pittsburgh traffic, American 1234 heavy, taxiing to our runway at 28 right. Let's go. Right, so we'll go all the way around. What it looks here like Vector 2. And the scenery I have. Then Tango. Then Charlie. Turn, turn, baby, turn. This taxi line. Okay, so that's gonna be Vector 2 here. Beautiful. Remember the taxiway signs with two basically color coding. The black background with the yellow letters, that's the location taxi sign. So Vector 2 is the taxiway we are on. And then the sign with the yellow background and the black letter is like a direction sign.
The cabin is
So
ready.
here Tango, both left and right.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
Okay, so the cabin is ready. I'll display the weather. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist complete.
Checklist complete. Checkity check. Before coffee, checklist complete. Maybe before coffee checklist. Right, and then we said on... we can go on the second right on Bravo then. Be on Tango here. Then second right on Bravo. Oh, you're coming behind. Cool. Excellent. You are quick to set it up. Good job. Fantastic. Yeah, it's relatively quiet in Pittsburgh. VATSIM here. Ah, it brakes too hard. Excellent. And we've got a little bit of there. A little bit of a snowy runway as well. Right, so we'll go Bravo 1. Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a crosswind. KPIT. Going through. Runway entry procedure.
Check.
Oh yeah, 170 at 9, even with a bit of tailwind actually. Just a tiny bit of a tailwind component. But earlier on it was still suitable, so. Pittsburgh traffic, American 1234 heavy. Lining up, rolling runway 28 right. Yeah, on the right. Everywhere you go. Beginning to look like Christmas. A little bit white. Here we are. Double check FS to crew. Sync. Yes, happy days. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Take off.
Check.
Thrust ref.
Check. Thrust set.
Pittsburgh traffic, Altimeter 1 to climbing runway 28 right.
80 knots.
Hold.
Check.
V1.
Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up.
$400 feet.
Thrust ref.
Check.
Enough speed. Enough speed.
Check.
LNAV.
Check.
Yeah, I was looking at, because on the takeoff there was a bit of a crosswind, so it kind of pushes on the rudder, so you have to counteract, you know, with the pedals and stuff, which I don't have here, so I'm kind of using the joystick, you know, twist the joystick. And I was looking if it was going to take off in a crab or not. It was not that that visible. So it is maintaining the heading actually. It's nice to see. The LNAV is maintaining heading 281, which is track 285, so it's starting to kind of drift away from the center line. There's the first waypoint.
Check.
Flaps 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Flaps up.
Speed check, flaps up.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. After takeoff checklist complete.
Checklist check. Beautiful. Excellent. So now direct to Dale no, I don't know how you pronounce that. Direct to Dale now and resume the navigation as per the flight plan. Happy days. It's not a complicated departure, huh? Is it? Just that's it. It's beginning to look like Christmas everywhere you go. Da-da-da-dun-da-dun. I'm not gonna put the music because if I put the music, then it comes up with copyrights and stuff. So I'm not gonna do it. Unfortunately, that would be nice, but. Very White, Pennsylvania. Oh, Martin Air 126, beautiful. You see the three runways in Pittsburgh, 28 right, 28 center, and 28 left. Yeah, it looks very, very white. Entry scene.
10,000 feet.
Okay, so we'll still keep 250 below 11,500 just to round it up because Pittsburgh is actually at 1,200 feet above sea level. So you add 10,000 feet to the elevation of the airport to work out your 250 below 10. Yeah, John, I don't mean to be difficult, but that's the standard reply. Make it what you want. Now, yeah, it's accelerating. Beautiful. That's it. At 10,000 feet, all the lights except the strobes come off. And we will... Seatbelt sign auto.
Seatbelt signs auto.
Beautiful. Until we pass 18,000 feet in the climb, keep the altimeter setting for Pittsburgh, so 3014 inches of mercury, and then above 18,000 feet, which is the transition altitude in the US, then we'll set 36. We'll set standard. That everybody flies with the same barometric reference, which is a good idea. It's a good idea to fly with the same references, but not at the same level, because I heard somebody had like a TKSI recently. Not good. You don't want to fly at the same level. Oh, Boston Center is on. Detroit, our Washington. Oh, nobody around here. Then once we set the transition, well, once we pass the transition, then I'll set. We'll do the music again.
Merry Christmas.
Happy PL, thank you very much. You too, Merry Christmas. The big guy with the red suit is coming soon, so hope everything is okay. Yeah, all good, thank you very much, all good. What about you? Hope all the preparations are going well. Ready for some action. Yeah, all good here. Just doing the little flight today for week 16, so it's taking us from Pittsburgh to Kansas City, so all good. Looking good so far. Fingers crossed. Thank you again for the very, very generous renewal of the subscription. Thank you very much, sir. You're a star. Thank you, thank you. Go on, come on. Let's put the music on now. We like the music. Yeah, you got to love it, huh? Alpha KL, yeah. That's the music indeed. Oh, my PPL, we've got 2 weeks vacation. Oh, good. I wish I had 2 weeks, but at least I'm off for Christmas, so I'm happy with that. 25th, I'm here, so that's the main thing. After that, the rest, you know, kind of come and go, so it's no big deal. But at least I'm here for the big day. I quite like to be here as well for the 24th, above all, kind of, you know, late afternoon onto the evening, you know, kind of have a nice meal, kind of get ready for the big day. But yeah, the main thing is to be home for the 25th and in a sense the 24th as well, and that's a good thing. Well, I hope you have good plans. I don't know if you'll manage to fly. I'm not sure what the deal is with all the restrictions and stuff, but and the weather as well. Maybe the end of December, the weather is a little bit more difficult at this time of year. But hopefully, you'll manage to go for a couple of flights or something. That's climbing well. I'm not even looking at what it's doing, but it's climbing well. Here, of course, I'm not so concerned, even if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It's alright. Be reassured that when I actually fly the aircraft, I don't have like the NFL music in my headsets and going like, you know, and not paying attention to what's going on. So be reassured. What stage are you at now with the IFR training? If I remember, you were doing some IFR training. Have you finished everything now, or are you still doing it? Yes. It's beginning to look like Christmas. Because with the IFR, I mean, unless there's a lot of icing or something, but otherwise you can fly, which is the advantage of being able to fly IFR, regardless of the weather. If there's a lot of icing, depends on the aircraft. It's not ideal maybe to go into icing conditions if it's a small aircraft. But yeah, if there's no icing, then that's good. It's a TB, is it TB20 you have? I never remember exactly the model of the aircraft. Or TB10. One of the two. Or maybe something completely different. I'm not sure if those aircraft are like, if you have like the icing boots and if it's certified to go into icing conditions, but. That's it, so it's gonna get to 36. Hey, Rotter Digger, before coffee, checklist complete. How you doing, sir? Before coffee, checklist complete. That's the classic. This one is to be framed in the pantheon of the streaming. Oh, you're still doing it? Okay. But of course there were like restrictions, the school closed, time, yeah. I can understand. We're still not out of the woods yet, like, you know, globally with the whole situation, so there are still like, well, a few flights cancelled and countries are like tightening the restrictions. I heard next door to you in Holland now it's a lockdown, but I was watching TV and you could see the reporters like in the street, you know, saying, oh, today in the Netherlands they have started to you know, close, you know, and started the lockdown, and you've got everybody at the back in the, you know, waving at the camera, you know, going, and the streets are very busy, people with no masks and all that stuff. So yeah, you know, it's a lockdown, but it's a happy lockdown. See people like, you know, behind the reporter going like, hey, what are you doing? Dinner. Yeah, let's ask for dinner. How do we do that already? Oh yeah, we need to this. Oh, not PA. Flight attendant.
1,000 feet to level off.
Check.
Hello?
Some dinner, please.
You bet. I'll be up in just a minute.
You bet. I'll be here in just a minute. Standard. But this one doesn't matter really. At TB20, that's it. And the IFR is done on the DA40. Okay. Would the TB20 able to go into icing and all that stuff, or is like just a nice weather aircraft? Yeah, what are they on vacation till the 3rd? Oh, you're very lucky. Cool. Time to chill out.
Hey guys, I've got your crew meals here and a few drinks too. Which one of you guys ordered the caviar?
Me. Thanks.
Sure, anytime.
Anytime. That's it, dinner. Caviar. The only thing on Boeing is that there's no table, you know. On Airbus, they've got the joystick here on the side, and then you can unfold the table here, and you don't have this big thing in between your legs. Then you can eat your caviar, you know, take your napkin, get your plate, fork, knife. Yeah, very nice on Airbus with the table. On Boeing, no, on Boeing we've got this big thing in between the legs, as I said. So you need to kind of like have a tray on your legs, or you know, it's not that comfortable to eat. It's okay, I mean, but it's not a table. Yeah, the French aircraft, they needed the table with the baguette and the wine. Yeah. I wish we could have at least the bread. The bread is okay, but the bread in the aircraft tends to dry very quickly, you know, because the atmosphere is so dry, you know, the bread gets dry relatively quickly. The wine, it's a bit of a no-go item, you know, unfortunately. There's still those wild rumors circulating that Air France guys have a little Not too much. Huh? I mean, it's not they don't have like 50 classes, but the saying goes that they have maybe like half a glass of red wine when they fly with their meal. I found that hard to believe, but so the rumor or the legend says so. Just to wash down the caviar. Huh? It's just juice. What a shame. Oh man. Wash caviar with juice. You think maybe with some Saint-Emilion or like Dom Perignon, but orange juice, well, diluted orange juice with caviar is just a waste. Huh? Anyway, cheers. I'm almost finished with the juice actually. I need maybe to go and get a top up or something. Ah, okay, my PPL. So you have the prop DI system. So I guess it's electric. It would warm up a little bit the prop, but then it's not really certified to go and fly into non-icing conditions. Of course, you can, you know, get into a bit of ice by accident, but yeah, to go into non-icing conditions is. Yeah, I don't have the champagne with me here. I have to go and dig into the cellar if I can find the champagne. God. Champagne time. Now we talk about caviar, champagne, wine. It's Dustin's fault. He wanted to have dinner. Huh? You still here, Dustin? Oh, it's a system based on glycol, so I don't have a Scooby-Doo. I'm just like blah blah blah. I'm just talking nonsense then. Okay, my bad. Sorry. So how does it work actually? Is it like just a matter of is it working once you are in the air, or is it only on the ground? The glycol, I guess, is some sort of a liquid. It's a bit like a de-icing, anti-icing liquid. Is that correct? You see, Dustin, you know, you're talking about, start talking about dinner, and now we're talking about wine and baguettes and champagne and caviar and, you know, God. Fantastic. Because glycol is some sort of a liquid, huh? That's what they put into, I think, the de-icing, anti-icing liquid. It's that kind of viscous. Ah, so you have a tank, but is it like when you're on the ground or in the air as well that the glycol comes out onto the prop, which I find kind of probably not in the air, just on the ground there, I would imagine. Unless there's like little, not vents, but little like holes in the prop, and then the liquid comes out of it. But the prop, I mean, turns so quickly in the air, the liquid would go everywhere. That's why I was thinking of an electrical system, you know, to heat up the blades of the prop. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along. Cool. So far so good. We are. Oh, KCVG I think is Cincinnati. So we are somewhere. Going towards Ohio. After that, I think we fly on top of Indianapolis, where I flew last week. Oh yeah, that's Lowville, Chicago up here, Milwaukee. We should have. Where's Cleveland? Cleveland should be somewhere around here. Cool. I know where I am. That's good. Happy days. Remember, you can check my schedule on schedule. Yeah. See when I plan to fly. I will put an announcement on the Discord before the flight. Indeed. Indeed. Cool. Excellent. So this, hold on, let me think. I might be back actually before the year ends again to do week 17, because that will be before the end of the year. But so this should be my last but one flight of the year. Happy days. Right, I was talking earlier on about okay, so it is in the air. Oh, that's interesting. So it's used in the air. There are two little tubes at the base of the prop. Okay, and it sprays during the flight to a rubber-based bracket on the prop, and the centrifuge of the prop sprays also onto the windscreen. Yeah, it kind of splashes it onto the windscreen as well. Oh, that's quite a clever system, actually. Wow. It's recommended 360, and it says it can step. So to get rid of the step suggestion here, what you can do is set 0 in the step here, prompt, and change RVSM to 0. And now the step suggestion is gone. It's cool. What we can do, as I said during the pre-flight, is to update the wind, so we can delete all those levels, because not really the levels we are flying or that we could potentially fly. So we'll set the one which we actually flying, 360, set 340, 380 I'm not gonna climb anyway, and 320, something like that. Reorders the level from the higher to the lowest. I'll delete this as well, execute that, and then go back to route data and do the wind data request here. Okay, cool. Yes, please do. That's interesting, because as I said initially, I thought because of the speed of the prop rotation, there will be an electrical system to warm up, you know, just the surface of the prop, and I never thought it would be actually based on a liquid, because you know of the rotation of the thing. So that's it. That will be interesting to see indeed. Yeah, if you have a chance, please do. Mama, mate. Yeah, no, I realized that there was like a typo there. Mama movie. It's like, what's up, Mama movie? Is it? And I realized there was a typo there. Oh, Microflight, you had a nice coffee. Good. The only type of coffee I can have now is a decaf coffee, man. If I have coffee now, I'm gonna be like, ooh, I'm never gonna sleep. Oh, and decent forecast. Oh, it took a while actually. So let me do this again then. I thought it was available. So now if we look at the legs page and you go to route data and the winds, then you've got the winds for the even flight level numbers, which we are flying in westerly direction. So at the moment we are 360, but if we choose to descend, then this will be the winds. And so at 340, it's actually a little bit stronger than it is at 36. There you go. and the flight level and the temperature here has been updated to the highest level on the page here. So 360 minus 55. It's not overly cold actually, minus 55. Yeah, it's very it's very clever system indeed. Because on top of that, as you said, like with the rotation of the prop, then it sprays onto the windscreen as well. So that's good, because I'm sure you don't have the wipers, and even if like the wipers with ice anyway, that wouldn't really work. So, and you don't get the window heat. So, you know, it's a nice system, indeed. Yeah, if you have, as I said, if you have a chance to post it, that would be good to see actually. Yeah, it's an anti-ice. So the difference I see in the de-ice and anti-ice, de-ice you remove the ice, and anti-ice you prevent the ice from accumulating. And so de-ice is like a cleaning process basically, and anti-ice is a prevention enterprise, so to speak. It's a prevention process. Yeah. Ah, that's good. I've not had a chance actually to de-ice and anti-ice, or well, do any de-icing, anti-icing this year yet. I've not really been to anywhere very cold. Maybe in January I've got a couple of places I'm gonna go to if everything stays the way they are, where it might be a little bit cold and we may have to maybe just clean the wings or something. But so far this year I've not really done much in terms of de-icing, anti-icing. So it's not rocket science though, but it's nice to do it from time to time and refresh the cool. 19. Oh, so it's still about an hour to go. Yeah, true. When the glycol runs out, then it's like when you're driving your car and you've got the, you know, the scoosh, the windshield, yeah, the windshield liquid, you know, the cleaning thing. You know, you clean. Psh, the road is dirty or there's a lot of spray and something, so you use the wipers, you clean the windscreen, and then at some point you press on the button and yeah, nothing happens. You don't have the liquid anymore, and then you can't clean the windscreen anymore. So yeah, this is a nice system until the liquid runs out indeed. But you have to plan for it. Yeah, it's not used constantly. Yeah. Do you actually control it, or is it automatic? Because if you control it, if you are in clear blue skies, why would you start, you know, using the glycol, you know, to do that? So if it is like an automatic system, then it's very clever. You know, if it detects icing and it's using the glycol, then it's a very clever system. And if you have to do it manually, a bit like, as I said, in your car when you try to wash the windscreen, for example, then, as I said, if you're flying in clear blue skies, then you're not gonna do it. Yeah, you need to put it on in the cockpit. So it is like a manual system basically. Well, I mean, which as I said, you wouldn't use if it's not necessary. Can we turn back? I forgot my car keys. Damn, no. Sorry. Now we have to go all the way to KC. All the way to Kansas City. Anyway, you said, my PPL, that the aircraft is not certified to go into icing conditions. So if you start seeing a lot of the main clue and the main indication you are into icing condition is you'll see like the kind of like frost accumulating on the windscreen, and if that's the case, then on a small aircraft as well, you can start like, you know, looking out at the wingtips. On a 777 it's not really possible. On a 737 we could just what's happened to this? Oh, what's happened to this today? Oh, that's better. Wondering about the textures there. I've never seen that before. Let's have a look again. Oh, it does it again. What is this? Well, that's not right. Why does it do that today? Uh-oh. I didn't change anything. The only thing that's changed was there was a Windows update. That's it. They left the engine cover on, indeed. That's really strange. From this view it's okay, from this looks alright. Like this it's okay. Like this it's okay. It's just when looking from the flight deck and moving the camera to look outside. Otherwise it's chase plane as well, because chase plane could do funky things, because chase plane was also updated for the latest P3D version. So yeah, there's something a little bit weird. Oh, it's the same on your 747. Okay. I like that, KFC Turbo, they left the cover on. So if you move your head through the window and out into the slipstream, see no textures on the engines or wing. Is this a new thing, or is it is it always been like this? I'm just noticing it today. That shows you that I'm not paying too much attention. But I've never noticed that before. Yeah, I was not aware of this.
Traffic.
Traffic. Really? Traffic? Where's the Bolanta? Bolanta. Oh, on Bolanta, I don't see too much traffic, huh? On Volanta, you don't see all the VATSIM traffic, so it's hit and miss. But it's registered all the details of the flight, which is good. Oh. What's happening with my sound? Please, no crash. No PC crashes today, please. Oh, you're at 38. Okay. Now you show up 2,000 feet above, yeah. But earlier on, I'm not sure. I don't think it was, because it shouldn't give you the it shouldn't give the traffic because you're 2,000 feet, you know, stable. So it shouldn't upset the TCAS too much. I don't know. The TCAS has been funny with VATSIM. It's I don't know. That's interesting. My PPMCI, I think it's a bug. Yeah, possibly. As I said, I'd never noticed before. I just noticed today because I was like, you know, pretending to look, which, as I said, on the 777 you can't really do. Look out of the window and look at the wings. Yeah, you did that funky texture. But what I was trying to say actually is that, for example, on the 737, which is obviously shorter, and you had like a little bit of a view over the wings, you could see also the kind of gray of the wing. I was going to say texture, but it's not really texture. Just the gray of the material that, you know, makes the wing. The gray would kind of change a little bit of color. It will become a little bit whiter and stuff with the frost accumulating on the wings. So if that was the case, then you knew you were a little bit in icing conditions. So for example, in the descent at like mid-level or something, you could use the wing anti-ice for a few seconds to clean the wings. Yeah, I'm not gonna insist too much on looking outside, because if there's a bug, then yeah, I'm surprised. As I said, the only thing that changed recently is like a Windows update, and Chase Plane updated as well, so yeah, it looks like someone wrapped your 777 as a prank. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, I mean the other views from outside, all the textures are good, so that's no big deal. Be fair, like as I said, to pretend to look out of the window and look backwards at the wings is not really possible. Hey, Space Agent, how are you doing? Yeah, the outside views are a little bit loud. That's why also I like to kind of keep the sound levels down, because I've got the the sound in the headsets like this. It's okay, it's a little bit loud here, but if I had this sound all the time in the headsets, I don't want to go deaf. So just on the rare occasions to look outside, but that's why also with the cinematic views with Chase Plane, I cut the sound, because if you don't cut the sound, then you've got the this kind of engine revving sound, you know, ooh, every time the view changes, then you got like the engine sound. So it's not very nice. This is quite nicely done, actually. This layer of high altitude cloud. This is quite funky, and that would happen actually in real. Oh wow! And you see a macro flight there on the 7.4. You must be flying a little touch faster, no? What's the distance? No, still 9 miles. Actually, I think we took off with 9 miles, and it's still at 9 miles. I love those high altitude clouds there. Very good, thank you, Space Agent. What about you? Getting ready for the big day tomorrow, or well, the day after? You too, my PPL. You have a good Christmas. Thank you very much again for the renewal of the subscription. I do appreciate it, so thank you very much. Have a good time, and we'll see you in between Christmas and New Year, hopefully. Take care. Have a good one. See you soon. Got a nice contrail as well. Oh. We are polluting the world. You know that all those legends about contrails and stuff is nonsense. Oh, you are flying the 737 for a few years and then learned the Airbus, and now you're totally lost in the 737. Yeah, I can understand that. Because as soon as you change from one aircraft to another and you really concentrate on the new one, then you totally forget about the old one, indeed. And since 737 and Airbus are totally different, then it's is easy to forget, indeed. Hey, Pilot Pepe, what do you think about the Ryanair 30k type rating program? Oh, it's 30k nowadays, yeah? Euros, yeah? 30k euros? To be honest, I'm not totally familiar with the current setup, but what I would say is that if you have the possibility to pay for it, obviously it's as you said, it's kind of self-sponsored. I would go for it if you've got the the financial means, because if at the end of it you have a job, at the end of the training you have a job, and with Ryanair I think it's not like 6 months contract or 1 year. With Ryanair, once you finish the training, then they put you in a base somewhere and then you've got your job for good. So if that's still the case, then I would definitely go for it. If you've got the money for it, then go for it. I know 30k is maybe a lot of money, but yeah, go for it, man, because you can't really go wrong if you do it, and then you're successful with the training, and obviously they'll do their best to get you through the training, and the training is very good from what I heard. Then you've got like 1 foot in the industry. You get to build up your experience quite quickly, and then the world is your oyster, so you can stay in right now if you wish, but then it also allows you to move on. So yeah, definitely go for it. Question, can an offset lock approach be classed as a precision approach? No. Precision approach is only really an ILS approach. All the other type of approaches are like non-precision. So like localizer, even more so if it's offset. RNAV approach. What else? VOR, NDB, all those approaches are non-precision. The fact that it's non-precision, it's because you don't have the vertical guidance on the approach. With the ILS, you've got the lateral guidance, which is given by the localizer beam, the radio beam that keeps the runway center line, and you've got the glide slope that keeps this ideal descent all the way to the runway. So that's why it's called like precision approach, because it's like a precise guidance, all the way to the runway. But for example, for like for localizer approach, only if the glide slope is not working, then the only guidance you have is the localizer, is the lateral guidance. Of course, in the aircraft nowadays, you have the VNAV that will guide you down, but the VNAV is not the information you get from the VNAV doesn't come from the ground, it comes from the aircraft itself. So that's why it's called like non-precision, because you only have one axis, in the guidance, not like both axes. If that makes sense. I don't want to be technical like always, but at some point you have to explain things. Okay, so you don't get a contract initially. All you get is a contract with the flight school when you do the type rating too. Yeah, but if from what I understand, if they take you, you have to go and do like an interview, an assessment, and everything. If you go through that, if they take you for the type rating, then it's under the understanding that at the end of the type rating, then basically you've got the job. That's the way I understand it. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but I know from in the past that was the situation. Is that if you were going for the interview, there was like an assessment and everything. If you were successful, then they will say, okay, my friend, you have to pay for the type rating. But if you are successful with the type rating training, and then of course the line training, but basically if you are making it all the way to a line release, then the job was yours basically. So in that case, once again, I will definitely go for it. Just just to get the experience, really, because it's a good experience, man. If you fly like around Europe like this, it's beautiful. But it's a lot of money, Yes, I guess it's because of the current situation. They can be they're probably a little bit unsure about the staffing levels they need, the number of pilots they need for the next few months. So obviously they'll still try to get people trained. People also, I don't know if it's Ryanair themselves or if it's the flying schools who get the money for the type rating. Obviously they still want to get all these things going, but yeah, I guess at the moment it's a little bit unclear, because above all now with this new variant and stuff, they don't really know what's gonna happen in the future. So that's maybe why they are a little bit unsure. But if it was normal time, and as I said, from what I know about it, then once you were doing the training, then it was good, because I think they just take the number of people they need. However, if they run the type rating training as a bit of a business, if they benefit from it, because obviously you've got to put the money in and everything. If they run it as a oh yeah, it's below. If they run it as a business, then maybe for them it's a good thing to have all these guys do the training, and then they can be picky at the end. It depends how they run it nowadays. You would have to find out exactly what the score is, what they offer, but if nowadays they offer the type rating without a guarantee of a job at the end, then I will be a little bit more reluctant to go for it, to be fair, because like 30k is a lot of money to put down, and if there's no guarantee of a job, then I don't know if it's worth the risk. But yeah, it really depends on the outcome, really. Of course, nothing is guaranteed, because if you don't pass the training, then they can't give you the job. I mean, you'll have to perform during the training. That's the absolute condition. You need to pass the training. So, and there were guys who actually failed the training, which was a bit of a shame for them. But that's a risk you have to take. You have to be confident enough to say, okay, I'm gonna do this type rating. If you didn't have to pay for the type rating and you were hired by the company, you could still fail the type rating, and then they will say, oh, sorry, my friend, we've got to let you go. Here the only difference is that you also put down 30,000 euros in the pot, but yeah, you've got to take the risk. However, if there's no job guarantee after, I'll be quite reluctant, I have to say. Because 737 type rating on its own is not gonna be of much use, you know. See what I mean? After a year, you're gonna have to go and renew it on your own. The simulator session, the examiner fee, and everything. It's gonna be quite expensive. So yeah. So what you're saying is that at the moment they say, okay, you do the training, you pay for it, but there are no guarantees at the end that you're gonna get a job. It depends a little bit on the industry, on the way things are going, on our on their requirements in terms of pilot numbers and all these things. Is that what you're saying? Yeah? It's okay, so that's yeah, no, I kind of agree with you. It's a little bit of a tricky situation, you know. But if there's no guarantees, then I wouldn't go for it, man. Because like 30,000 is a lot to pay. If you were like a millionaire, then no, I wouldn't be so much of a problem. But not everybody can fork out 30,000 euros like this. So yeah. I thought that they were basically recruiting to train people to then give them the job. I was not so much aware that they were like recruiting just to train people, and then from that pool of people that they have trained, they could then select like a few people there. I was not aware of that scheme. Because as I've said, if it was a matter of like hiring you basically, but instead of like other airlines who actually pay the training and then would say, okay, you're bonded for 3 years, or 5 years, and if you leave in the meantime, then you have to repay like the bond pro rata, for example. Then that, you know, that's okay. But the way they were doing it, it was like, oh no, you have to pay for your initial training. But if I'm sorry, if you're not hired, then it's that's not great, man. Oh, that's the end of the route. I'm gonna have to look at the arrival. Cool. Yeah, I don't want to, you know, sound like pessimistic, but at the end of the day, of course, it's your choice. But since you are asking for my opinion, you know, I'm gonna give my opinion, and for me, it's not worth it. If you don't have the job at the end of it, then it's not worth it, man. Yeah, microflight will go for 19 left, I think. You're welcome, Pilot Pepe. No worries at all. So let's have a look what the weather is. Oh, again, those become famous. I mean, there's like 13 viewers. Do you think famous? Right, so Meta. No, not KPIT. Why am I typing KPIT? KPIT is behind us, though. Yeah, I've not transitioned yet. Arrival. 210 at 12, yeah, beautiful 10 statute miles, broken at 15,000 feet, 13 degrees, woo! Bad. 2978. Of low pressure. Cool, so let's have a look at the arrival charts. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh. Cool. Keeping an eye. Okay. So the arrivals. What's the last waypoint? Sierra Papa India. Spinner, Springfield. Oh, here. BQS. Or is it Bremer? There must be that Bremer. Yeah, BQS. Yeah, that's it. And they don't really jump to my eyes straight away. Good. Right. So we are looking at Kansas City, Missouri. As I said, not Kansas, it's Missouri. Star. There's a D80s, beautiful. Airport efficiency graphic. Altimeter setting inches. Transition level 180. Radar required. So we're coming via Spinner. Then there's a whole transition to MATS, turbojet, or even here at Duns. Radar. Where do you transition? I think it's from MATS. Where the hell do you transition for? Is it here at MATS? Anyway, we'll see that. I'll bookmark this one. Had to click bold. And then on the approach, that 19 left. Let's see if there's a transition. Transition is only from the northwest. Okay, so I'm not really sure how we're gonna do that. I'll bookmark this one chart as well. So let's have a look at the arrival again. You come down here. This arrow here, or it says runway 9 and 27. That's not where we're gonna go. And at MATS, turbojets landing north, expect 12,000. Here obviously is to land the downwind and come back for runway 01. Oh, Napoleon! Oh jeez, there's a Napoleon next to Kansas City, beautiful. Napoleon, oui oui. Or maybe from here then you can take vectors to set for 19. Oui oui, Napoleon. Right, so that's what we'll do, I guess. So we'll go departure arrival. We've got the KMCI Kansas City arrivals. We'll go ILS 19 left and the BQS 7 19 transition. Yeah, Spinner. There you go, and execute. So like always, double check that the waypoint sequence the FMC makes sense in relation to the arrival chart. So we start at Sierra Papa India, then we go to Uniform India November, then to Again, then to Bremer Bravo Quebec Sierra is here, then to Duns, and then vectors. Okay, so the database seems to think that from Duns, then you take that 255 heading, and then you're on the some sort of like vectors for then the approaches onto run 19 left and 19 right. It's not very clear on the chart because it only mentions runways 9 and 27. It doesn't say anything else. Down here, of course, since you're like south of the airport, it can only be to land on 01, but there's no mention of 19. Ah, you have to look at the text as well. So 19 left, done, and then heading. Okay, done. So that solves the problem. You have to look at the chart text description. On the chart itself, it's not very clear, but when you read the text, then it's all there. Beautiful. Okay, so that's good. Not really any restrictions in the descent. Fairly straightforward. Let's see actually if we can link things a little bit. Yeah. So that 255 vector, we can get rid of it. Put ROMs on top. And now from Duns, it links directly to ROMs, which is on the ILS approach somewhere. It's actually quite close in. Let me reduce the speed here, because it's only 6 miles to the runway, so cool. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see the waypoints on the ILS. Let's have a look at the ILS chart. So looking at Kansas City, once again, ILS runway 19 left, 109.55 is the ident, 191 the course, 2,600 at Mazu, that must be the final approach point. That's understood. Minima 1195, so it is a little bit elevated. Airport elevation is 1027, so we'll do 250 below 11. So I'll set that in 250 below 11,000. This, come back to this, and so then from ROMs. At ROMs here, it shows 3,000 feet, which we have in the FMC, 3,000 or above. At Mazu, as we said, that's the final approach point with that little cross. It's 2,600 feet, that's good. And then all the way to the runway. If it's the same in the scenery, which might not be the case, but in real, the DME runs 1.7 at the runway threshold. So that's a little bit of a trap, because you look at your DME, you know, your distance measuring equipment in the flight deck on your ILS approach, and it would show you what you think is the distance to the runway, but actually it's not. It's a little bit like this from time to time in some airports. I'm not really sure what the reason is. You would think that the threshold, the distance, should reach 0, but in some airports like that, in San Francisco, it's the same. On top of my head, I know San Francisco is a big trap for that, and here it's the same. So we'll see if it's the same in the simulator. But that's interesting. That's something you have to be very careful of. And then for the missed approach, oh, we go to Napoleon. Fantastic. We go to Napoleon for the missed approach, and that's climbing to 4,000 feet. 4,000 feet is here. ANX is Napoleon. Oh, oui, oui. Oh. Fantastic. Okay. So that's all correct. Then for the minima, it was 1195. So I'll show you the little tip there. We go to FS control, FS, and we'll set the minima there 1195. This, then go back to the menu. FS control off. Just to instead of, you know, winding up the altitude and stuff, it's a little bit slow here. It's much more quickly if you do it like this when the number is high. On the aircraft, it's not a problem because the numbers for the minima here increases quite quickly, but in the simulator it's a little bit slow sometimes. Right, we'll work out a VRF. So we're gonna be landing with 9.5 tons of fuel and 214. So 214 plus 9.5 is 223.5. So that's gonna be our gross weight for the approach. So 223.5 is gonna give us a flap 30 VRF of 141. Cool. In the sim, I've got a runway length of how much? 2,900 meters. Oh, okay. So I don't want to go all the way down, of course. So we go for auto brakes 3, see if we can make one of the early exits. Cool. I'm hoping that the scenery has the correct ILS frequency also. Otherwise, we'll do the RNAV. If the ILS is kaput, then you can always do the RNAV. Wow, check the wind. Ooh, 137. And it's bumping around a little bit. Let's attach our passengers. Yeah, you can microflight. I think it's only on the 777 because I don't think on the 737 definitely you cannot do it, and on the 74 I'm not sure. It's just because in the 777 you have the function to control the FS panel through the FMC in case there's an issue with the panel itself. If one of the knobs here is not working properly or one of the buttons is not working properly, you can control it via the FMC. This is not the standard way to do it, but you have the option, as I said, in case of an issue with this one, to control through the FMC. So you can definitely set it. It's a bit like on the Airbus. I understand on the Airbus you set the minima directly into the FMC, so here it's more like a backup. Yeah, we are in turbulence there. You can feel the aircraft shaking a little bit. That's that. We'll set 2978. Well, the speed has increased. There's so much wind. So that's a little bit, that's a good example actually to explain a little bit how the cost index works. As there is so much wind on the nose at the moment, 137 knots. The ground speed is very low for an aircraft like this. So with a higher cost index and the headwind, the speed is going to be increased. At the moment it's maintaining like decimal 86, which is maybe a little bit extreme, but the aircraft would definitely give you like a higher speed to compensate, you know, the low ground speed at the moment because of the very strong headwind. Wondering if... Oh, you've got it on the 747. So on the 747, then they must have the same function then, where you can, as a backup, you can use the FMC to control the FS panel. Oh, that's good. Yeah, when the minima are quite high here in the simulator, you know, you're like here with the mouse trying to press the button and rotate and all that stuff. Sometimes it takes a long time, so. And it's even worse, of course, if you go to one of those high altitude airports, Quito, or you go to a few weeks ago. Mind you, it was a departure from Johannesburg, so. But yeah, all those high altitude airports like Addis, and it'll take forever to wind up the minima there. In the aircraft, as I said, it's not a problem because the knob is quite responsive, but here it's a little bit. Careful. Alright, so let's brief FS the crew. So it's gonna be the star, ILS Cat 1. Minima is 1195. Up 30, dry level 3. We'll start the APU. Keep the transponder. The gate. Yeah, we go to a gate. Cool. Descent checklist.
Stand by. Descent checklist. Recall. Checked.
Oh.
Notes.
Checked.
Auto brake level 3. Landing data.
Set and checked.
VREF 141. Minimums 1195 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist complete.
Right. So FS the crew playing up. That's it. I don't know why it was open. That's it. Next checklist, yeah, is in sequence. Is the good. Okay, 80 miles. Top of descent. A little bit more. In 8. Oh yeah, still. The distance is not very far, but there is so much wind, and the ground speed is it's so reduced that yeah, it's still gonna take about 14 minutes to get to the top of descent point. But this is very realistic. That's why I like. That's the main thing I like about Active Sky, is that I will give you the high altitude winds, which are very realistic here. So flying in this part of the world at this time of the year, you'll get like a strong wind like this. It's very realistic. That's good, really good. Because I remember, like with the VATSIM connection, or like the whatever FSX prepared winds from Microsoft or whatever. You know, you're swimming into a mediocrity, you know. So at least here makes sense. It's maybe not the exact wind that you would have in real in this exact location, but it's not too far off, so not too bad. Anyway, let's do a little bit of music before the descent then. Let's get the blood pumped up. Oh, we like. Oh, that's a nice one. I like the little thing jumping there. Yeah. Cool. Excellent. That's it. That'll be the music for today. Enough blood pumping. This is a really, really nice tail, actually. They've done an amazing job with the tail. It looks futuristic. It's like really, really nice. I like that one, I have to say. The rest is kind of this kind of metallic gray, which is nice as well. But and the little logo there is nothing fantastic, but the tail is amazing. Yeah, the wings are kind of bouncing up and down a little bit. It's funny, it looks like it's starting to descend actually. I've not set a lower altitude, so it's just the way the camera moves here. Yeah, I love this. Really nice. Right, so we have started the arrival actually. Yeah, because we passed Spinner, whatever the bar was. Oof, decimal 86 now. Wow. It's bumping on the speed. But that's nice to see, because that's what the aircraft would do. It would increase the speed, as I said, to compensate for the strong headwinds. Above all, if you have a relatively high cost index. But even with the low cost index, that's what the cost index does, is to try to you know, work out what the best solution is. And this case, it would like hey, Ralba, how are you doing? In time for the descent, indeed. Indeed. I hope everything's okay. I hope you had a good week. Yeah, we're just approaching the top of descent, but the ground speed is a little bit struggling, so it's still gonna take maybe 10 minutes or something to get there. Yeah, maybe 8 minutes. Yeah, 54 miles, but only at 370 knots ground speed, so it's gonna be a little bit longer. Oh man, that's the very bottom of my juice there. God. It's okay, I'll survive. I will survive. Dun, 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 dun. It's beginning to look like Christmas everywhere you go. Yeah, here it's white as well. I'm wondering where the boundary in the US is for the white winter scenery, and then the more kind of temperate scenery. If you go down, maybe down to Texas or something, it will be green. I'm not sure where the boundary is at this time of year in the simulation. Yeah, it's quite turbulent, and that wind, man, it wouldn't be a nice ride, I think, today. With that strong jet stream there. Whew. It's beginning to look like Christmas everywhere you... Oh, can we do the landing rate? I like that macroflight. It's rather bumpy, yes. Go. Well, yeah, it's yeah, I have to say I'm not a big fan of the bumps like this. I like a smooth ride. I'm not a big fan of bumpy rides. I don't know actually sometimes how the crew do it in the cabin, because sometimes it's not too bad. If it gets bad, then they sit down, no question whatsoever. But sometimes it's that kind of light chop, and it kind of bounces up a little bit, but it's not too bad. And yeah, they would walk around the cabin, you know, sometimes, and they don't seem to be too bothered. And I'm already, if I was like, you know, in the cabin at that stage, I'll make sure already I'm sitting, but oh, they just walk around. Doesn't seem to face them. It's oh, it was worse at 380, 500 feet per minute, plus and minus all the time. Oh. I like that. I shouldn't complain, I can change the weather. That's exactly right. Definitely you can change the weather. Don't be the victim of the weather. You are in charge of the weather here in the simulation. So yeah, if the weather annoys you, then you can change it. In real, you cannot like switch it on or off. It's there, and you have to deal with it. But here, it's true. If it's not good, if it kind of makes things unpleasant and kind of like waste your fun or whatever, then indeed you can change it. Okay, no worries. In a sense, I mean, we could have done. I think that if you're doing cargo, the cargo is on the 19 right side, so in a sense we could have done like a parallel approach or something. So it doesn't matter. All right, so before I forget, because here I tend to be very forgetful, I'll just put, let's say 10,000 feet, something like that, just random. There were no restrictions in the descent, so I would just let the VNAV work its magic all the way to the ILS. Actually, beautiful. So we've done the decent briefing with you guys. Well, just to review on the 777, it's very much like that. It's a matter of reviewing the FMC and the chart, and then set like a few things, and that's it. There's no magical, you know, tricks or whatever. It's fairly straightforward. I mean, I know, like, obviously for I might sound a little bit blasé and stuff. He says it's straightforward, but I'm not really sure what he means. Yeah, because yeah, you know, of course I do that all the time. So. But yeah, there's no like very tricky things to do, and yeah, that's it. On the 737, there's a little bit more to do. Oh, Ralba, you're gonna continue your tour from Paris to DDG. Which one is it? Is no. DDG. I was going to say that, Munster Osnabrück. Yeah. Cool. How many legs have you done already? Right, let's start the descent, get out of this wind. First, we have speed. I can't believe this is 16 weeks already. This coming weekend is week 16, then 17, and then 18, I think. That's the end of the regular season. And then we'll go on to the playoffs. So for the playoffs, I do the flights as well I'll do maybe one flight per week, something like that as well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Or maybe do 2 flights per week. But it depends on my availability and all that stuff as well. So I don't want to to announce big plans. At least stick to the 1 flight. So we'll get the wild card weekend first, then the divisional, then the conference, and then the Super Bowl. So there will be an extra 4 weekends. Still on the same wind, and the wind is... I bet you the wind is gonna remain strong until further down. They're 135. It's starting to reduce. I'm surprised by the rate of descent it's giving me with almost 80% on the N1, and it's descending at a huge rate. Yeah, let's do the parallel approach. Yeah. If you don't mind, I'll go on 19 left, but we can definitely do the parallel approach. So you started in Madeira, then to Lisbon, Santiago, Toulouse, Paris, and now Osnabrück, all recorded via Volanta. Cool. Volanta. Yeah, it doesn't look... On Volanta today, it doesn't look very busy. I'm surprised. Today, mind you, today is Thursday. Yeah, maybe people are still working a little bit to the run-up of Christmas. The last couple of days, and then maybe tomorrow, maybe the afternoon. Gonna say, this guy is an idiot. He doesn't even know when people are working. I kind of lost touch with reality, because as a pilot, you kind of like, you're a little bit like a shift worker, you know? You only work like sometimes on the Monday, sometimes on the Wednesday, sometimes on a Saturday. So there's no like 9 to 5 kind of schedule. But yeah, like it's picked up a little bit. It's a shame there's ATC in Memphis, Houston, further south. Didn't pick up the correct area today. Ah well. Yeah, should be alright for the TCAS. Even if the TCAS screams, I won't obey the TCAS command here, so don't worry about the TCAS. We've got... I like that, Dustin. I wish airlines would have a landing rate prediction as a competition among the passengers. Yeah, you could, on the entertainment system, just before the landing, there'd be like, you could enter the rate, and then they would tell you, well done, you've won, same thing, a few miles, or maybe like, I don't know, a voucher for like a next flight or some miles or whatever. Yeah. Right. You think they got the message there? Dring, 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 dring. I think they did. So now they've got to get ready for the landing. Oh. I've got to do that one. No, it's not this thing. It's Christmas.
Are you ready?
For Christmas.
Everybody ready for landing? Are you ready? Everybody ready for landing? Are you ready?
For Christmas.
Everybody ready for landing? Are you ready? Everybody ready for landing?
Oh yeah. 5 miles, yeah, beautiful. Everybody ready for landing? Is everybody ready? Cool. That's so much fun, man. Right, you're almost there. Everybody ready for landing? Just for Christmas, a little ready for landing. Boom boom. Din 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 din. Cool. Yeah, I don't know if with WarBX you can actually change the kind of winter scene here. Because it's like, what was the weather? 12 degrees or 13 degrees, which will be like, I don't know, 54, 55 Fahrenheit or something like that. And it looks like there's like snow everywhere, so it's 12 degrees Celsius on the ground. The chances are there's no much snow on the ground, but hey. 1800 meters apart, so the distance will shrink as we get closer. Yeah, no worries. What we can do as well, if you don't want to get any TCAS array, what you can do is put the transponder on TA only. So if you put the transponder on TA only, all it will tell you is maybe traffic, but it's not going to tell you like climb, climb, or descend, descend. So obviously non-standard. But in a place like the one place that springs to mind again is San Francisco. But in San Francisco, if you do a parallel approach with like another traffic, then the runways are extremely close. You don't have 1800 meters, you have maybe, I don't know, I'll hazard a guess, but maybe 300-400 meters maximum of separation between the runways. So and an approach like this, yes, it will be like standard to move the transponder to TA only, but yeah. Let me see. Is that turned off the transponder? You don't see me on the transponder anymore? Because I can see you here. So we can see each other and do the formation. Let's set the QNH. Now it's saying 2975. Ah, perfect. Yeah, normally it should, because the transponder is still on. It's just the TCAS function that will give you the the resolution advisory that is kind of disabled. We also go on to a TA only if you fly a single engine, because the philosophy is that on a single engine, if you get like a climb and in particular instruction, because you're flying only on one engine, you might not have the performance to climb as directed by the system, by the TCAS. So when you are flying single engine, then you're a little bit on your own for like other traffic avoidance. So you are kind of not disabled the TCAS, but like set it to TA only. That's the other time when you set only TA only for the METAR 2975, 15 degrees. Man, it's beautiful. What do I have here? Is it 297? 975 75. Just gonna get in the soup a tiny bit. And we'll continue the descent to 3000, I guess. Let's do the approach checklist. Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
2975 set. Set and checked.
Set. Approach checklist complete.
Doesn't seem to recognize, I've said that before, I mean, it doesn't recognize set. It thinks I'm saying 6. Not saying 6, I'm saying set. Trying to like open and articulate set, but still doesn't recognize it. Damn, voice recognition. It's like speaking to Alexa. You must have the Alexa app or the thing you speak to, say, morning Alexa, and you go, good morning, or so Alexa, you're fantastic, and he goes, thank you for the feedback, you know. Or you say like, Alexa, Merry Christmas, and she goes back saying, Merry Christmas to you too, or whatever. Right, so it's gonna reduce the speed to 50 at 11,000 feet because the airport is already a little bit elevated, as I said, so you count 10,000 feet from the elevation of the airport on the way up, so 1,000 plus 10,000 is 12,000. Wrong. 11. Fingers crossed, I've got an ILS. I've not checked that. Oh, you don't have an Alexa? It's alright, you're not missing much. Once you play around a couple of times saying, oh Alexa, what's the weather today? Oh, today in your location the weather is, I don't know, it's sunny, it's cloudy, it's this, it's that. Or Alexa, play Everybody Ready for Landing. And I'll go, everybody ready for landing. Right, so it's looking good. I guess that's exactly what ATC will do if it's not busy. From the arrival somewhere, I'll say, oh, direct to Roms, descend 3,000 feet, clear the ILS 19 left. They don't overcomplicate things, which is nice, actually. I'm not really sure what it's gonna do then with that second green dot. Cabin is ready. descend, descend. Speed.
feet.
Oh, okay. The VNAV is a little bit struggling there.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Yeah, Alexa, give me the meta for San Francisco. And she would say, I don't get that. Or I don't know that, something like that. At some point there was something with Alexa which was quite funny. You were asking something about like the secret services in the US. Oh yeah, so are you
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be
do you
arriving
know
at
about
our
like
destination
the
shortly. If you are
CIA and
in
stuff? And
connection
she
to
would
another
say
flight,
yes,
please see the
and
customer
then
service agent meeting this flight
you would
or
say, oh,
video
do you
monitor
work for the
dispatch
CIA?
room
And
for
she would
connecting
say,
with
well,
information.
she wouldn't
For your
really
continued
know how
safety,
to
flight
answer the
attendants
question.
will now walk
That
through
was
the
something
cabin to
quite
secure
funky.
its
Now when
landing.
you do it,
We'll be
she
collecting all
doesn't
service items, newspapers, and any other items
say anything.
needed to
But
discard
like
or may not be taking
maybe
off the
I
aircraft
don't know, a
with you.
year or two ago, she used to
Also, in
she
preparation
was
for
giving
landing,
like a
please
bit
turn
of
off all electronic
unclear
devices,
answer. That was
stow
funny.
hidden
Some
devices,
people had
and
picked
all
up on
other
it. Yeah.
carry-on items. Please
So
use caution
Big
when opening
Brother is
overhead
watching
bins,
you.
as items may have shifted during our flight. Please stow your tray tables and return your seats to their
Meta
upright
and meter
positions,
sounds the
and
same.
check the security of your seatbelts. We will be landing
128.2
shortly.
American 1234. Bye bye. This is city traffic, American 1234, base leg runway 19 left. The wide base leg. Oh yes, I've got the ILS, beautiful. India Delta Yankee Hotel.
Kansas City traffic, Mach 167, base leg 1 right.
What 0 divided by 0 is? Try to take 0 and then divide it by 0, yeah? Good question. I don't know that. Right, so it's looking good. Can I see you now? I have to look a little bit behind. Oh! Down here. 3 miles. You're at 5,000 feet. Okay. I'm a little bit above. Oh, cool. That's not working out nicely. Yeah, this doesn't make sense. The winter scene there when it's 15 degrees on the ground. I wish you could change that. I'm not aware of any options to change it. 747, nice. It's still a little bit bumpy here. Loads of lakes in this area. What's on Volanta? Oh yeah, we passed those lakes. Smithville Lake. That was Smithville Lake, whatever. Nice. So the city is here. And this is, yeah, this is the river, the Missouri River. And is this also the state boundary? Where's Napoleon? Because in the go around there was a place called Napoleon. There's a VOR called Napoleon. I'm wondering if there's a little town called Napoleon. That would be interesting. Anyway, concentrate on the approach. Right, we'll go flight level change, thrust flight level change speed. Let's go down, reduce the speed un poquito.
$1,000 to level off.
Checkity check. So clear for the approach. Localizer, glide slope armed. Flaps 1.
Speed check flaps 1.
$2,500.
Oh, very strange. It captured the glide slope already.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
Flaps 5.
Speed check flaps 5.
Yeah, this is wrong. It shouldn't have captured the glide slope like that. It should capture the localizer first, not the glide slope. Gear down.
Kansas City traffic, Martiner 126, localizer established 1 on the right.
Flaps 20.
Speed check flaps 20.
Flaps 25.
Speed check flaps 25.
Flaps 30.
Speed check flaps 30. 1,000 feet. Approach not stable.
Oh god.
1,000.
Okay. Go around. 20. Stiff climb. Gear up. Gear up. Right, I'll do it myself. Oh, why is it whirring like this? Easy, Tiger, easy. Sorry about that, microflight. So much for the parallel approach. Yeah, I should have coded the localizer initially, so. Hey, Louis, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you too. Right, let's go around and come back around quickly. Sufficient fuel, really? Ah well, you got to spice it up a little bit. So flaps 5 now. And we'll keep flap 5 speed. Now I don't want to get into the wrong frame of mind here in the simulation to if it says like approach not stable, which it wasn't, to kind of you know, continue the approach and do something stupid. I want to keep like if the approach is not working out, then you go around and you forget about it. So I don't want to start doing silly things here. Right, then I think FS2 crew is gonna be a little bit overtaken by the events here. And so we've got level at 4,000 feet, I think was the missed approach. We go flight level change to change the thrust mode here. Doesn't want to. That's not working properly. Okay, flaps will keep 5, so we'll do item override. close the checklist, and I'll do radar vectors again. I'll have to check the options and the aircraft to see about the localizer and the glide slope there. Right here. Centrifugal fuel. Yeah, no, I don't want to get into bad habits. So, if there's any nonsense like that, I said I'm not paying too much attention here. So, but if it says unstable, then I'm not gonna fly like a cowboy. Right. So, what's the final approach? 191. Is it 191? Okay, from ROMs again and execute. The rest of the approach is the same, really. We can go down to 3000, yeah. I'll go back down to 3000. And so we'll check again the recall. There's nothing there, there's no notes still. Auto brake is still 3, landing data is still very 30, 141, with the minimums 1195. Approach briefing, same approach. That's the descent checklist complete. Before coffee, checklist complete. And approach altimeters 2975. See, you get 2 for the price of 1, huh? Today, that's nice. Approach checklist complete. So for the go-round, actually it's nice. It kind of allows me to demonstrate the go-round, but I don't do the go-round here like properly because the aircraft doesn't behave properly. And yeah, microflight landed, I know. Sorry, I'm kind of letting you down there.
2500.
But yeah, it shows a go around. So you go around and then you have to do again descent checklist, approach checklist. What's the diversion fuel? 8.3. Okay, or 8.6. Yeah, so we basically we're now basically committing to Kansas City. Because by the time we fly the approach and we are on another approach ready to go around at lower level, then we would have, we'll see how it works. But by the time we get to let's say the minimum score, if the fuel is less than 8.3, then we are sticking around in Kansas City. We don't have enough fuel to St. Louis, which is the alternate today. Interesting. Yeah, the parallel go round. I'm not sure what the go round on the other side is. It's probably a right turn. This one was a left turn, so on 19 right, it's probably a right turn to go away from each other. Right, let's turn in. What's happened with the view as well? God. Amazing. I think what didn't help was the glide slope capture before it was supposed to capture, because I thought it was going to level off and the level off would allow for like speed reduction, but since it captured the glide slope it kept going down, so it never actually had the chance to slow down. So I think that didn't help, if I can find an excuse. But yeah, it should never capture the glide slope before the localizer. because you're not supposed to descend before being established. Oh well, we spiced it up a little bit. Right, now we go left, heading to... Oh. Maybe 5. No. I was surprised though that the visibility seems to have dropped. It looked a little bit cloudy. Clear. 8 statute miles. Okay, fuel 8.3, yeah. Thank you, Alpha KL. So yeah, now we cannot go to the alternate anymore. So now we've got to concentrate on Kansas City. So you use the fuel that we had to go to the alternate to kind of stick around Kansas City. So now what we're looking at is that we need to land with more than 3.2 tons, which is the final reserve, which is the big event. It should be okay. 8.2 to 3.2 is still another 5 tons. We still have about 50 minutes worth of fuel. It's not a problem. But yeah, the alternate is not available anymore. Right, so localizer capture. Light slope is alive. Oh, Alexa. FS2 crew is still stuck on landing checklist. Flaps 15.
Speed check, flaps 15.
Ah, okay, she's in sync. Flaps 15, good. I like that, Alpha KL, you're following the events. That's good. Well, that's glide slope captured. It's at 4,000. Gear down. Flaps 20.
Speed check, flaps 20.
Flaps 30.
Speed check, flaps 30.
So you saw updated the VREF as well. It's now showing 140 because we are a little bit lighter, so you can update that. Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Landing checklist complete.
Checklist complete. Yeah, look at the visibility. I mean, it says 8 statute miles clear. It looks like it's misty. It's weird. I don't know if it was like this for you, Microflight, but I find this quite strange. Kansas City traffic. American 1234, short final 19 left. Oh, same for you as well, huh? It's weird how... I suppose you have active sky as well. It's weird how it depicts the weather like this. Dun 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 dun. Brace for impact. So we still have fuel for another go around if needs be.
500.
Very comfortably. Check.
Plus 100.
Approaching minimums.
Check.
Minimums.
Minimums.
Landing, continue.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Speed brakes up. Reversers
Oh,
normal.
nice. The 7.4. knots.
60 knots.
Manual braking. Right, let's vacate here then. Well, no bad. 1218, American 1234 heavy. Bye bye. Welcome to weird Kansas City, actually, because the weather is not really the way it should be, and you go like a winter scene, and I'm sure it's with 15 degrees, it's totally dry. All right, I'll give you way. Go ahead, microflight. Put the parking brake. Where am I going, Jenny?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is
Okay, I'll
parked
take the...
safely at the gate. This will be your indication it is safe to move about the cabin, gather your belongings, and disembark.
Hello, hello.
We'd like to thank you for flying with us today. We
How was your scenery, actually? Was it okay with the photo scenery? And oh, Ralba, you got the landing rate 9 feet per minute off. Amazing. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm really puzzled by the weather. It says clear, like there's a good split on the dew point and temperature. It's really strange. Yeah, I've got this modified AFCAD, but I know that the taxiways are off. Yeah, this is the constant issue, unfortunately. Let me go on Juliet, and I know the terminal as well I have is not really well located and stuff. Anyway, we'll ignore that. I find it's a shame that people actually work on those sceneries because this is not the default. This is somebody who worked on modifying and arranging, you know, the AFCAD, the kind of scenery file, but they wouldn't align it with the real world. I just find it's a shame because it's not actually difficult to do. So why would you spend all that time modifying the airport scenery file and but not align it to the real world? Right, so that's Juliet, and we can go all the way around Juliet. I think I'm parking Charlie 63, supposedly. Oh well, that was that was a fun flight. A little go around just to spice it up. Let's go, Charlie. As I said, if FS2 Crew says like approach unstable, and it's true that the speed was still too high, I don't want to get into the wrong habit of like get the ITIS and continue the approach when it's not really appropriate. So just not to pick up, you know, bad habits here, and then if ever like one day happens to me in the aircraft, you say no, continue, you know. So no, I don't want to get into that frame of mind. So if the approach is not working out, then you bend the approach and you go around. Right, so around that loop, and then this is really weird. Anyway, I couldn't find any other sceneries, and then if it's not this, then it's the default, which is probably even worse. Oh, you've got auto for P3D. How does it work? No, I have to say I like P3D. I think it's still like reasonable. The flying kind of feels genuine enough. Actually, I couldn't find any heavy gates here, so for 777 it's a little bit tight. Although the runways are long and everything, but lights and doors. Lights and doors.
Cabin crew disarm doors and cross-check.
I went in the corner like the bad boys. Bring it around. Very tight here. God, where did I get myself into here? Oh. Stop, that will do. Anyway, this is all. So we'll set the parking brake. The APU is running. Good. Can put down the engine. Disarm the doors. Off you go. What else can I do? I can blank this. Of the radar here for first officer. Set this one to ident. Ah, that's not bad, the parking. The microflight. Yeah, weather really weird. It looks like misty. That's really strange. So you choose 1 times 1 degree area of the world. You choose which photo provider you use, AG ping. It then uses a lot of CPU and time to generate photoreal scenery. Yeah, I guess. Autogen buildings are placed based on OpenStreetMap data. The result looks good in daytime and summer, not so much in winter or at night. Okay, so you actually take satellite photos from any of the photo
I am
providers.
ready for the checklist.
Wow, that's good then. Because at some point in a few years back, there was this software called I think S-Builder, where you could put satellite photos into the scenery, but it was first of all like big files, and also it looked a little bit patchy, you know, in the sim, because if you were choosing only a small area, for example around an airport, it didn't blend very well with the rest. But mystical weather, huh? Yeah, I like that. Rotterdam. Mystical weather. Yeah, it's true. It kind of looks weird. Statute miles. 8 statute miles is why it's about 12 kilometers. So yeah, it's maybe a little bit hazy, because it's not like 12 kilometers of visibility is not great. So maybe kind of make it anyway. Shutdown checklist. Let's do it. Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Parking brake.
Set.
Shutdown checklist complete.
Ah, but you see, I understand set here. When I say 3, whatever the altimeter set, it doesn't understand it. But here, when I say parking brake set, she gets it. Let's operate the jetway. L2, okay. Then we'll disembark. The last thing is to open the door. But here I think I've got to open the L1 door. Because if you don't open the L1 door, then GSX doesn't recognize that the door is open. Hey Microfly, thank you very much for joining me today. Happy Christmas to you too. We'll see you around, hopefully on the next one. Have a good one. Thank you very much for joining me today. That was good fun. Thank you. Sorry for the the lack of parallel approach for the go around. I messed it up. Hey Ralba, thank you very much again. And yeah, you have a nice Christmas as well, and we'll see you afterwards. Enjoy. Thank you very much. Let's see what it's gonna do. This? Oh yeah. Oh good. Now it's doing the disembarkation. Excellent. I like that. I thought I would have to open the L1 door, but actually, since the bridge is gone to the L2 door, then disembarkation is taking place for. Excellent. 7.5 on the gas. No bad. Oh yeah, we're getting rid of the cargo there, down here. That's it. We have some ground power available. Yes, we do. Let's kill the APU. And the Phoenix can go off as well. Beautiful. Since we killed off the APU, the packs can go off as well. Everybody's gonna go off, and then the engineer will look after the aircraft. Excellent. That's it, folks. Thank you very much. Welcome to Kansas City, virtual, a little bit distorted Kansas City, but mystical weather. And yeah, I'll hang around for the next few minutes, just finish off. I'll give Ralba its points for the landing rate. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the flight. Thank you very much for joining me today. Next week, I think it's supposed to be, I think it was Denver, Los Angeles, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that anyway. I'll confirm closer to the time. I need to double check exactly where it is. I've got it somewhere. Yeah, Denver to LAX. Yeah, so that will be nice on the West Coast. That will be a nice flight. And then the last week 18, is Dallas to Philadelphia. And I think I will have covered pretty much the 30 airports. Oh, what have you done? Wow, 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 wow. Merry Christmas to you too. You're amazing. Thank you very much. Oh, what a digger. 20 T1 subs to the community. That's amazing. Thank you very much, sir. You're a rock and roll star. That's really nice of you. So we've got East Coast Canadian, Nordic Pilot, Rexy, Torre FR, KFC, Asset Man, Scarbus Driver, Pink Pony, MSR, Bob the Bomb, Hawkix, Flying Squirrels, Carbon Bell, French Gap, iFly 747, Foggy Canadian, Eagle Motion, Ethan, iFly, and 83N. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On their behalf, thank you again, Rotadiga. It's amazing. Yeah, you're so generous. You're like a star. It's I'm very humbled. Thank you, thank you. Really nice. Wow, God, I'm speechless. I have to say. Wow, wow, wow. God. Thank you so much, man. God. Yeah, I'm speechless. Wow, wow, wow. Anyway, I don't want to be like going but no, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Hopefully, guys, you can enjoy the, the emotes for, all the benefits of the subscription. But yeah. Hey, Slimman, good morning or good evening. Yeah, it's somewhere in the evening. Yeah. Oh yeah, thank you, Rotterdam. Thank you so much. As I said before, it might appear a little bit crazy to people in general, but no, I do like to do this from time to time, and it's initially what got me into aviation. So many years ago, and yeah, I still like it. I still enjoy it. So it's no, it's great. But thank you very much, because I'm not expecting any of this type of support. I'm not here for for glory or for so it's great. Thank you very much. It's really good. Thank you. Wow. On this amazing note, guys, I'll wish you a good night first of all, and then a Merry Christmas. I'll drop a message as well on the Discord for everybody. I'm back. Hey, fantastic! Thank you. Oh man, this is amazing. Thank you. Beautiful. Well, on this amazing ending and fireworks ending, I'll wish you a Merry Christmas. I'll drop a message on the Discord as well tomorrow at some point. But yeah, have a good time. Be good to one another and to people near you. And I'll see you hopefully next week. And it says that we've got the train as well. Choo choo! Oh God. Oh guys, I'm totally flabbergasted. I don't know what to say, man. Oh God. Thank you very much, Rabba, Dankeschön, and Rotterdam, Dankeschön, too, I was going to say, but does that make sense? No, thank you. That's amazing. Wow. You're at it again. Fantastic, Dankeschön. Thank you. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'll once again wish you a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you at some point again next week. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope you enjoyed the flight. And yeah, like always, take care. Enjoy this special time, I guess, and at some point. Thank you again, Digger. You're like fantastic. So yeah, that's a nice way to you know, to get to Christmas and finish like this. It's amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I'm very humbled. That's amazing. Really, really humbled. Hopefully, we can continue a little bit like this and do you know, a bit of flight simulation together. You know, and the new year and beyond. Fantastic. Cool. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely Christmas, and I'll see you at some point next week. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.